Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, Fabian Schär, he scores great goals and he's got great hair. Whoa, Fabian Schär. Anyway, after that little sing-song, welcome to the Magnificent Mags channel with my pre-match preview for tomorrow's Carabao Cup semi-final first leg down at the Emirates away to Arsenal. Sorry if I've ruined your day with that awful rendition of a great chant, but let's get straight into it. Yeah, injury news. Fabian Schär, as we know, it's a second consecutive game that he's out with suspension, so we'll be missing him. And an even bigger blow is losing Bruno Guimaraes in the centre of midfield. So that means who will come in there? Well, it's a toss-up at the moment. It could be Joe Willock. Eddie Howe praised him in his press conference today for his tactical ability and understanding of playing centre forward to rest Isak, who looked dead on his feet after the amount of effort the players have put in recent games. Who else? Yeah, there could be Lewis Miley. Now he's just back from injury, came back into the fold and on at Ipswich. And honestly, I don't know what he's been eating or he's been put in compost, but he's so tall and so big. Or it could be Sean Longstaff. Obviously, Longstaff, he can break up the play, he can cut off the passing lanes. So, I mean, if it was my choice tomorrow, I'd probably go with Miley. Now, I know he's not a carbon copy of Bruno, but yeah, Miley, I'd probably say he'd be my choice, and just in terms of he can be that creative player still. Now, I know he's not on Bruno's level, but he's tall, he's physical, he can get stuck in. He covers a lot of ground, good stamina, and he can unlock a defence. If you remember last season, he's passed Isak in the win against Chelsea. That was just outstanding. But logically, or what Eddie Howe might do, it'll probably be Longstaff, because I know Willock can get up the pitch, but I'm just thinking it's going to be a very, very tough game. And we need to be coming back to St James's Park still in this tie. So it'll probably be Longstaff, like I said. So he can cut off the passing lanes, he can break up play, and he's still also got an engine. So it'll probably be Longstaff tomorrow. Now, a couple other bits of team news that Eddie Howe revealed today. Now, Sven Botman, he came off, it was just a bit of cramp. Again, he was fatigued. He said he was pleased with his return. Like I said in my video yesterday, now I know that he was caught out for the first goal for Solanke's diving header, but again, he's been out for, 294 days. That mightn't be accurate, that, but again, he grew into the game and he was solid, and he got a couple of good blocks in. And yeah, he shouldn't have got a yellow card. That was daft. But again, it's the same ref who weirdly didn't allow it to continue to attack in the game against Liverpool when we arguably could have won it. Yet he gives Spurs nearly 13 minutes of added on time, so make of that what you will. Absolutely no sense. So yeah, Botman probably likely to continue at right centre-back as he did, and Dan Burn will remain at left centre-back. Other injury news, Anthony Gordon, now it's been confirmed that he should be okay, despite we're not getting a Stonewall penalty and his nose being bust by Kulusevski, so that's great news. Other news, we still know that Nick Pope, obviously he had his injury, but he's back out training on the grass with the goalkeeping coaches, but he's not back with the main squad yet. Obviously, Pope had his knee injury. It's been confirmed that he's likely to be back in time for Bournemouth. Other injury news as well. Obviously, we are still missing Emil Kraft. He was his collarbone. I know all about that. I broke mine when I was 10. It's painful. Eddie said his fitness is peak and he's back out running, but again, his bone's not quite healed yet. Where you can do contact with the rest of the squad. So fingers crossed he's back soon. So we've got a right centre back. Other injury news, we've got Callum Wilson obviously still out with his hamstring injury. Jamal Lascelles, he had his knee injury. Just thinking, is there anyone else? Not really on the injury front. Fabian Schär's were no and Bruno suspended. They'll both be back for Bromley, though there'll likely be big changes for that this Sunday. Now, Arsenal have got their own injury news of their own. As we know at the weekend, they've been missing a few players. Now, Kai Havertz had illness, and it's been reported today that Martin Odegaard was another one who suffered from illness. So we'll wait and see if they're there. They probably will be, but touch and go. It was said by Arteta today. Other players they're missing, I just noted this down because there was a few. Ben White, Tomiyasu, Raheem Sterling are all knee injuries. We know Bukayo Saka is out long term with his hamstring injury because the muscle actually came off the bone. And Ethan Nwaneri, muscle injury unspecified. So yeah, Arsenal missing a few players though, and some might be there, some out. But again, like I said, it won't be an easy game. I'll come on to that in just a moment though. Just a bit of housekeeping cover from the Spurs game, as I just want to clarify this because there's still been some nonsense coming about. Now, it's been debated this morning on TalkSport. Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling in our corner that Shaban said Spurs could feel frustrated. It was a handball. Now, look at it this way. I posted it yesterday and it's been shared a lot. Yes, you can feel frustrated by it. I can understand if we were on the other side. But you just have to accept it that decisions like this happen. You'll get them in your favour, they'll go against you. That's just football. We'll have some decision against later in the season that we won't like. We've had them before. This time we're getting some decisions in our favour. But it's all balanced out at the end of the day. It always does. And look at it this way. I'll post it on the screen here. The mitigating factors are the goal wasn't immediate, or the goal was scored by a teammate, or the ball enters the goal. However, it resulted in an own goal by a defender. So the law was applied correctly. So that's it. It's the end of debate. No matter what that Shaban says on TalkSport is wrong, and Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist are right. The ball was played into Joelinton. His hands were by his side. So it wasn't deliberate. And as I said in my video yesterday, Bergvall could have easily played at Kulusevski, and he got the pass under pressure. Wrong decision making by Spurs players, especially Pape Sarr. And that's it. Ange can moan all he likes, but the facts of the matter are we had the best midfield three and the best front three throughout December. Spurs knew what they were coming up against. Ange keeps playing attacking football, knowing how we press, and the form and confidence we're in and have. So at the end of the day, that's the matter closed. If you I know football is subjective in opinions, but in this matter, the law is applied correctly. So that's the end of discussion. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, Alexander Isak, speaking of him, the form he's in, 9 goals in 7 games. That's 7 consecutive games he scored in. Vardy's record's 11. Now, I know he said he's not targeting it, but hey, if he gets close, you never know. But yeah, all that matters in the meantime is he keeps scoring because we keep winning. And now, not to take anything away from Gordon in his last 5 games, Gordon's been banging form. He's got 5 goal and assist contributions in the last 5 games, so it's just great seeing going back and forth. And Anthony Gordon ticking and purring is just so much better for Newcastle United. There's been news on Isaac Hayden. Remember him? 6-year contract in 2020. Well, my God, he's finally meant to be moving on. I don't know if that means terminating his rumoured £22,000 a week contract. He's got a year and a half left. Could be going back to QPR, where he was previously on loan. If that does happen, I worked out that it would be about 1.716 million off the payroll, so that would help with PSR. And Martin Dubravka, yeah, so the noises have only cranked up in the last couple of days that it's coming out to Saudi Arabia that Al Shabab are going to sign him, and tomorrow's his last game. Now, I hope that's not the case. My stance on it is Dubravka's done well since he come in. He's been a reassuring presence at the back. The defensive looks settled and calmer with him there. And he's so much better on the ball than Nick Pope. Because at times Nick Pope looks like he's had the pin pulled out of a grenade and handed to him. And he's just chucking it all over the place. Like Nick Pope's a good shot stopper. But we just need to come to a compromise if we can just keep Dubravka till the end of the season. Because we've got Champions League chasing, and then we've got a Carabao Cup semi-final, potentially a final. Like, that would be a great send-off for him. Imagine we could win a cup and get Champions League. that, like, I just feel we need to come to a compromise saying, would you move in the summer? Because to be honest, like James Trafford, it's been rumoured that we're going to have a loan with an obligation to buy of £25 million. Now, that'd be a great deal, but that mean coming up from the Championship from Burnley to us, and then he's got to have time to settle, and I don't feel comfortable relying on Pope or Vlachodimos or Ruddy or Gillespie. I'm not saying all four of them would play, but I'd feel much more reassured if I had Martin Dubravka here, and you're really going to get much off the wages for him because his contract's up in the summer. It mightn't be too much, but I'd rather keep him. But again, Eddie said he respects his wishes, so if he moves on, he'll have a blessing. I hope tomorrow night's not his last game. I mean, if he needs to stay at the end of the month at least, then we'll get a keeper in and then see it was Trafford. Fair enough, but I'd be loath to lose Dubravka at the minute. And I'd like his final send-off to be St James's Park, which arguably could be the Everton game at the end of the season. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, so a couple other things, Dubravka, just want to add one last thing. It'd be about £2 million in wages. I just worked that out there, would save. But again, what he could save in the long run with his performances in games, I'd rather keep him. So anyway, yeah, moving on. Just to come back to Bruno, a stat that is worrying going to the Emirates tomorrow is that Bruno, it'll be the 8th game he's missed, which is remarkable, which will be coming up to it's coming up to nearly 3 years since we've had him. He's only missed 8 games if you include tomorrow, but we've never won a game without him. So Eddie Howe says he'd not like to have to work that out. And when he was asked previously, what do you do to win without him? But again, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, if we're coming away with a draw tomorrow from the Emirates, I've said this previously, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, Eddie Howe said a few things in his press conference today. Obviously, he said they understand that Bruno Tonali have gained lately. It's going to be a huge loss tomorrow, but we'll have to find ways around it. But yeah, Gordon should be okay. Botman too. But he's acknowledged we'll have to be at our best. It's a high-level game. He's under absolutely no illusions how big a game this is, because the strength that we've had lately in this 6 consecutive wins, 5 in the league, has been consistency in the lineup. We've had a settled team with minimal changes. So yeah, it will be a big one tomorrow, going up against a very impressive Arsenal team at the Emirates, where we've only ever got 1 league win. I know it's the Cup, but it's only 1 league win, and I'll go through them stats in a moment. Some other things I noted down what Eddie Howe said. Yeah, he's not concentrating on the Dubravka links when asked. He's just concentrating on the games, but he didn't really answer the question, so that could mean something is going to happen, which I said I don't want to, but again, it's the club's decision. He doesn't care about anything else outside of Newcastle. That came back to a question that we're ruffling teams up, ruffling feathers. And there was a bit of needle at the Emirates when we got the 0-0 under him there a couple of seasons ago. But he said he'll stand up for his team. Outside opinions are irrelevant. All he wants to do is focus on Newcastle. But obviously, without like losing the heads, without being ill-disciplined, which Eddie Howe is neither of them. He's very respectful, but he will always stand up for his team, hence the sideline frolics lately, certainly against Aston Villa, though obviously that was more JT. But he said they're going to do everything, no stone unturned was his quote, in trying to win a trophy for her. He acknowledged, again, as I said, Willock's tactical contribution going up front when he's tired on Saturday, and a lot because our team has put in a lot of effort and exertion recently. He praised Murphy, that he's an old-fashioned right winger and that he's direct, he's got pace, and he's crossing. He can hit it low, he can hit it high, and he puts him in with pace. And I love that about Murphy. Again, another assist for Isak there, understanding, being outstanding. And he was asked about VAR as well. Now, it is an interesting question. His quote was, he enjoyed not having it in the game against Brentford, which we all did. Because as he said, it takes the enjoyment out of it when you score a goal and you haven't to look at the linesman or wait for a decision. You can just celebrate a goal if you see the linesman's flag's not up. So a lot of very good points there from Eddie Howe. Now, the game at the Emirates. As I said, I'll be there. I'm travelling down on the train tomorrow morning and we're staying overnight. So I'm looking forward to it. First trip to the Emirates. I've been on many away days, but never at Arsenal. So this is one I wanted to tick off, and it means I've been every round in this competition. So if we get to Wembley, So fingers crossed from a personal perspective, but everyone will be in that boat if we do get through. The clamour, remember the booking.com website, the tickets, getting hotel rooms, not just tickets, the website crashed. But looking at this, I've got some stats. As I've said before, I love a stat, but yeah, Arsenal coming up after this. There's been questions whether they'll prioritise it, but it'll still be a tough game regardless. I know they've got the final 2 Champions League group games, the way the format is this month, and after us, they've got Manchester United in the FA Cup at the weekend, then they've got the North London derby against Spurs, and then they've got Aston Villa. But again, Arsenal is still a good team, because these stats, and it is grim reading, again though, Eddie Howe's a man who changes records. Yes, I've noted these down. I'll rattle through them quickly, not to bore you. But League Cup records. Last time we played at the... this is just the Emirates, by the way. 2-0 loss, 25th of September 2007. We lost 2-0, yeah. Now, FA Cup record, again, we've played there twice, lost twice, scored none, lost 5. Premier League record, 16 games, 1 win, 1 draw, 14 defeats, 8 scored, 40 conceded. Goal difference of -32 with only a paltry 4 points out of 48. Now again, I know out of that run, that's just Premier League games. It's not League Cup, but yeah, it's not good reading. It's an overall of played 19, won 1, drew 2, lost 16, scored 8, conceded 47 with a goal difference of -39 at the Emirates. So Arsenal have easily had the better of her. And the only results there were first visit there in the Premier League, I think it was December 2006. It was a 1-1. But yeah, since then, all competitions, lost 2-0, lost 3-0, lost 3-0, lost 3-0, won 1-0. We only win there. Andy Carroll, remember that? 7th of November 2010. I lived in Cheltenham at the time, the one gap in my season ticket when I moved away for work. Lost 2-1, lost 7-3, lost 3-0, lost 4-1, lost 1-0, lost 1-0, lost 2-0, lost 4-0, lost 2-0 in the FA Cup, lost 3-0, lost 2-0, drew 0-0 under Eddie, and last season we lost 4-0. That third result, lost 3-0 after the League Cup, was also the FA Cup, so it's not good reading. But again, we know it's going to be a tough game tomorrow. Because I'll say this, even for Spurs, going back to them, if they had all the players available, they could have got an equaliser. To be honest, I mightn't have even begrudged them if they'd got a point against them, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Injuries and illness isn't our problem. Same as last season, we had our injuries. No one cared about that for us, so just how it is. So yeah, anyway, around this pre-match preview off, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, first ever trip. I'm only my second shift back at work today. I'm in tomorrow morning just for 2 hours and then heading to Central to head down. Should be in London for about 1:30. And we'll go around a few of the pre-match bars. Dolphin, O'Neill's. And what would be a good result coming away from there? The worst case scenario I'd take would be a 1-0 deficit. So whether that's 1-0, 2-1 or 3-2, I reckon we could turn it around at St James's. A great result would be a draw, whether that's 0-0 or 1-1. That means it's balanced and we've got home advantage second leg. And a brilliant result, which I'll be honest, I don't think it'll happen. A win for Newcastle, and that doesn't matter what the scoreline is. I'd love a win, but a hand on heart, I can't see it. That's even with me heart, let alone me head. But yeah, we've just got to go there. We've got to be brave. As Eddie said, he's not looking at it as a 45-minute game with it being over 2 legs. You can't change your approach. You've got to go in as you have. You've got to be brave. You've got to impose your own game on these teams. And we've just got to make sure we're still in the tie, coming back to St James's in like a month's time. I think it's, when's it again? It's like the 4th or 5th of February. It's just mad how much of a gap there is in between both legs. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please continue to like, comment, share and subscribe and turn on notifications on the YouTube channel. I'm going to do some videos tomorrow, just as the trip down on the train, when I'm at Central, etc. When I get to King's Cross, maybe when we're at the pub, and some pre-match predictions and a video outside the Emirates. And then I'll compose it all together, do my post-match reaction, I'll post that up, and then I'll be back on Wednesday with my video of what I thought of the match and see where we're at. But anyway, for now, I hope you all have a good Tuesday evening. On all the Magnificent Mags channels, I've done a teaser to see who the former Toon player is. So no cheating. As I say, no cheating, no Googling. See if you can guess who it is, and I'll reveal the answer at 10 p.m. tonight. But anyway, unfortunately, I now have to go out in the cold, which is why this video is in today, and it's been chucking down all day again. But it's meant to be brighter skies tomorrow, and hopefully that means the Toon are coming away from the Emirates with a positive result. But for now, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.